Nice round breasts and a firm young.
Zena's face falls. You talk about that scene? About the swimming and the drowning and the water in the face and
Fish.
I loved that. That was one of those episodes I was most proud of, you know? I thought that all of our scenes were spot on, the timing was great, working with Ted and you know? Like, you know, when I did pull you out of the, you didn't like it.
Well, my character did nothing but stand there and fish, and I think I was a bit uncomfortable with the fact that I had nothing to do for the first time in ages.
I am a rabid fisherman. I enjoy fishing as a counterbalance to filmmaking. And one of the things that I wanted to do was have Xena go on a fishing trip.
We got brought into the script with the idea that Rob wanted to do something about fishing.
Right.
And that they also wanted to do something, if you can even imagine, about a diamond.
Through a whole series of weird connections, De Beers wanted to promote diamonds through an episode, and it approached Universal and said, if you can do an episode all about diamonds, then we'll pay a higher CPM or whatever the hell it was.
Diamond translated into a star being lost or being taken from the heavens. And the fishing turned into
the obsession.
Aphrodite's obsession. Right. Xena saw a fish at the time that Aphrodite put an obsession on her.
Pretty.
Standing over me.
That's the first time where we got to see Gabrielle being 30 Shades of Minx.
Just doesn't appreciate the truly great work of art that I am.
Just vanity, incredible vanity.
It was actually, that's not the way the episode started. Remember when they first wrote it? That Gabrielle was supposed to be in love with Xena. Did y'all know this? I don't know.
The first draft of the script, at the time Aphrodite blows her perfume and causes obsessions, Joxer was looking at the 8-man story. Xena was looking at the fish. Gabrielle was looking at Xena. And therefore, Gabrielle's obsession throughout the whole episode would be Xena.
Right.
Originally, the script is Gabrielle's looking at all these weird sexual positions on the wall as Aphrodite puts a spell on her. And the rest of the episode, Gabrielle was supposed to be obsessed with various sexual positions.
That's not humanly possible.
Well, the studio read that, and 72 hours before we were to shoot, they said, you can't do that. De Beers will pull out, all our advertisers will pull out.
The only time I really remember us being thoroughly reined in was on Femmes Gems. And it was actually, I remember, 2 days before we started shooting, and the studio just said, you cannot do this.
Steve and RJ sat down over the weekend and changed Gabrielle obsessed with sexual positions with Xena to Gabrielle obsessed with herself.
What am I obsessed with? You.
Well, I would like to see what it would have been like if Gabrielle had been obsessed with Xena for that episode. Now, people have asked, would that be offensive to lesbian audiences to have them fall in love but only in a dream, or have Gabrielle fall in love with Xena but only in a dream? And I'm not really sure. I think there's probably some women who would have loved to see it, even if it did get written off as a dream.
It's like everyone knew that was sort of the relationship that they were in, but it wasn't funny, yeah. So then it became, well, what's the better, most comedic way to go? And it's Gabrielle loves herself.
That's right.
Just realized what it was that was driving my obsession.
You sang that little song. Is that where the little song came from?
Yes. Oh,
You and
Josh
made
Becker made it up based on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Tell you about a story about Gabrielle. What was the rest?
I don't remember.
Well, listen to my story about Gabrielle. Cute little gal that's looking really swell. Perfect hair, such a lovely lass. Nice round breasts and a firm young.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm a woman of many skills. No, any opportunity to spit water in your face. Actually, that was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, one of the more famous scenes in Femmes Gems is Xena rescuing Gabrielle from drowning, giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, her regurgitating the water. and then coming out of her stupor and saying, I finally realize, you know, who the perfect person in the world would be for me.
And then you pulled me up and I looked into your eyes, and Xena, I finally realized there can only be one person for me in my life. Me.
What was sort of fun was Xena's take on what she said. And, you know, that's something that we didn't script. That's something that, you know, either Lucy decided to do or something that Josh Becker told Lucy to do. We don't know. But, you know, those moments are great moments.
Hey, I let you save me.
The line "fist to fish" was not our line, we have to admit. And it came from, I guess, a technique of fishing that Rob knew about. But then the line came out, I guess, in the filming of the episode, and I guess it has a double entendre that people have written about or talked about. Nothing that we know about, nothing that we intended to write about or put in a script, but, you know, these things happen, you know, that...
it's a collaborative process.
Yes.
She wants me to fist a fish? I can barely say it, much less do it.
In terms of our double entendres and innuendo, if there was a line, I'm sure we just stepped over it every single time.
Tie your gem on my arrow, so my shaft can bring you satisfaction.
Do believe your sweaty, smelly leader is flirting with the goddess of love. You don't have the thrust.
That was one of the best episodes, definitely. Everybody was so happy, you know. It was summer in New Zealand. The crew were, you know, having picnics after we wrap, taking, you know, having swims in the lake at lunchtime. Everybody was just having the best time.
I think that was the time we had drinks out there after wrap, and I, not being very used to drinking alcohol, had this smashing hangover the next day, and in between scenes I had to sleep it off back behind lying down behind the site, you know, just oh, we'll just shoot
Actually,
without
I
air
remember that, yeah. I think quite a few crew members had a few headaches going on.